From the Ear to There Travel Studio, this is the Ear to There Disney Podcast.
The Ear to There Podcast, it's time to start the show. Be sure to hold on tight, here we go. Exploring all the different Disney destinations. Ear to There, it's time to start the fun.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Ear to There Disney Podcast. I'm your host, Phil Gramlich. I am also the owner and the founder of Ear to There Travel, which is a Disney-specialized travel agency. Did you notice that I get a little sing-songy here? I don't mean to. Everything is like up and down and all. I don't know why I do that. I just get into that habit when I record this every week. It is my job to take away all of that stress, all of that anxiety, and all that time that it takes to plan a Disney trip, so you can focus on the really fun things like having a great time with your family and friends and enjoying the magic. And I take away all that stress. I take away all that anxiety. I give you back all of that time at absolutely no extra cost to you. So I will get you the absolute lowest price on your package or your room-only reservation. I will handle your dining reservations, your fast passes, special event tickets like Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, transportation, Disney's Magical Express, golf tee times, you name it, I take care of it for free. So let me do all the work behind the scenes. Let me be your guide. Let me be the Bob Cratchit to your Ebenezer Scrooge. We just watched Mickey's Christmas Carol the other night, and I've got it on my mind. I'll do your laundry. I'll count your money. Whatever you need me to do, I'll do. I'll make sure you have the best possible trip, and I won't take any of the credit. Okay, you can find this podcast, my blog, or request a free, no obligation quote over at ear2theretravel.com. All right, this is episode number 149 for the week of December 3rd, 2018. Now grab a drink, grab a snack, and as a famous mouse once said, on with the show. All right, we're going to start off this episode just like I start off every other numbered episode of the show, and that is with the What About Bob segment. And this is where each and every week, retired Disney Imagineer and Disney legend Bob Gurr comes on the show to answer your questions and mine. If you're not sure who Bob is, well, Bob is the last of the original Imagineers who were hired directly by Walt Disney himself. Bob worked alongside Walt for more than a decade. He designed a ton of Disneyland and Walt Disney World attraction vehicles. Listen, if you've been to Disneyland or if you've been to Walt Disney World, you've ridden in one of Bob's vehicles. And I want you to ask him a question on the show. Call the voice line. The phone number is 267-551-1971. Leave a message for Bob. You could also email that question to me at phil@eartotheretravel.com. And Bob will get to you. Sometimes it takes him a little while because we get a lot of questions, but he will get to your question in an upcoming episode of the Ear to There podcast. And of course, the What About Bob segment is brought to you by the Waltland Bus Tour. Each month, Bob Gurr takes a busload of lucky guests around Southern California, with stops in Burbank, in Glendale, and in Los Angeles. You'll stop and see a lot of the historic sites in the history of the Disney company, but more importantly, ones that had to do with its founder, Walt Disney. To get tickets for the Waltland Bus Tour, just head over to www.waltland.com. All right, here he is, the man who recently retired his famous drink, the Gurrtini, which was a special gin martini, and is now drinking the Gurr-Tiki. If you want to know what that is, look up Bob Gurr on Facebook. The recipe is there. Here he is, the founder of the Gurr-Tiki, the one and only Bob Gurr.
It's What About Bob? Bob Gurr, the legend, creator of the Matterhorn, the monorails and the Haunted Mansion. What about Bob, the Disney legend?
This one is from a friend of mine named Jen Allen. I'll read you exactly what she wrote. She said, Bob seems to know so much about so many things. I've read that he is a futurist in many articles. What are some of the things that he would still like to learn or experience?
Well, I've never gotten that question.
Now, she's a doctor of this. Jen,
Yeah.
Jen is a doctor of philosophy, so she's
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, let me put it this way. I can't visualize not getting up at the crack of dawn and looking at everything I want to explore today. That is sort of my permanent psyche, if you will, or my permanent MO. I poke my nose daily into so many subjects right and left. I have a dickens of a time catching up with my yard work and my housework. You got to remember, I ride my bike 12-mile ride every week someplace. I try to go to the gym 5 days a week, so there's a bunch of committed hours, for everything else. And then, of course, you got the housework and the yard work and, all the other stuff you got to do. But all those other hours are filled exploring and doing everything. Sometimes it's travel. A lot of the time, and the first thing in the morning is, the computer comes on here at about 6 a.m. in the morning, and it runs till about 9 o'clock, just answering fan mail, answering questions, looking up historic facts for people, reading the LA Times, checking in with some of the automotive and aircraft blog sites to see what's going on, the latest thing. Then it's coffee break time, and then I start getting into the serious stuff that I'm pursuing all the time. I'm writing another book. Some people know that I'm a airplane type guy, so I fly with a simulator these days. There's just every kind of subject in the world. I love the history of civilizations. Why do some of them come and go? The Rand McNally Histomap of civilizations to me is my sort of my Bible of what happened in the last 10,000 years to get us where we're now and where are we headed next? Because all of this gives me a big clue to watching current events. There's a lot of people look at the news and they look at it as a mere speck in time. I like to look at it as a broad, lengthy story, if you will, so that I can understand what I see today based upon the 10,000 years that went before. It's just an endless amount of subjects, meteorology, earth science, mechanical, electronics, all this kind of stuff. It's just, it's my world. I jump up at 6 a.m. and I play in it till about 10 at night.
It's curiosity, right? It's just being curious about everything.
Yes, the curiosity, Walt had that curiosity. It was just constant. And so I understand what constant curiosity is because, this is worse than LSD and heroin all put together because you can't stop it.
Thank you so much again to my friend Bob Gar for answering yet another question on the show. And thank you to Jen Allen, who sent the question in. I'm not sure if Jen had anticipated that Bob would answer her question and end it with LSD and heroin, but hey, you never know what you're going to get when Bob answers a question on the show. So thank you again to Bob. Thank you again to Jen. And here we go with episode number 149.
Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
So this is recording, by the way.
Okay.
This is showtime for you. So I saw this person on one of the Disney groups, this lady that had a shirt. Her and her husband had shirts, like the matching shirts that they do.
Is this our podcast?
Yeah, this is the podcast. Okay. We're recording. This I want to get your reaction on this before we go into the
I wasn't sure.
topic.
Right.
So this is everybody, to the listener, this is my wife, Amy. Amy, say hello.
Hi, how you doing, guys?
I know I'm starting it off a little differently, and I want to introduce you in a second, but I wanted to do it this way first.
I'm in.
So a lady had the shirts made, and the guy's shirt, her husband's shirt that she made, said my favorite Disney villain is my wife.
Oh, that's not very nice.
But she made it. It was a fun.
Oh, she made it.
Yeah.
Okay. Like a joke.
Yeah, like, and her shirt said something like "He's mine" or "He's my Prince Charming," something like that.
Okay.
And she had it on in the parks in Magic Kingdom. The picture that they took. Maybe they listened to the show. That would be cool. If you listen to the show, and this is you, contact me. I want to hear from you guys. So I saw it on Facebook, and she said the shirt said my favorite Disney villain is my wife, and people were giving him grief. Like other guests were coming up to him and being like, "That's not really cool.
You shouldn't wear that, right?"
Really?
Because she made it.
And granted, they didn't know that.
Right. I
But
know what
are
my
we
reaction.
so sensitive that we're going to go and make a comment to a complete stranger
No, I would never.
who's wearing a fun shirt. And even if he came up with the idea, his wife was with him.
Right. She was wearing it.
I just think,
I mean, he was wearing it, but she gave it to him.
can we just be nice and happy to each other, please? Like, I know it's December, it's Hanukkah,
Right.
it's almost Christmas.
It's the season of giving
Yeah,
and
like,
caring
just-
and kindness.
I wanted exactly kindness
Right.
and being nice
I agree.
and not being a grump.
Right. And just let people enjoy themselves. And if you don't like something, just keep it to yourself and move on.
What?
Or whisper about it to your significant other or your family.
Hey, listen, we talk
Your
a lot
friends.
of stuff behind people's backs. That's
Who
fine.
doesn't? That's the way the world goes around, my
No,
friend.
that's the thing. It's the thumper thing. If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all.
Right.
Anyway, I just thought that was interesting to bring up
That is very interesting.
on a show that we're going to talk about our favorite Disney villains.
Yay!
We tried to record it. By the way, and thank you for coming on the show.
You're welcome.
We tried to record the show. Actually, I'm lying. We did record the
We
show back in
recorded it.
October.
And we tried a second take.
Right. And that's when our lovely puppy was just a maniac and wouldn't let us do it.
That's correct.
This is why it's hard to keep up with the podcast these days, because every time we sit to record, something goes wrong.
This is really a true story.
It is. And they call it the pod fade when you all of a sudden stop putting episodes out. Have you heard that? Pod fade?
No, but I don't keep up with those
It's in
things.
the industry. You're not
Do
in
they-
the industry. You're just a guest host. You're not the industry. You're not a pro.
Do they use the term on Fancy Nancy or Sophia the First?
No, I don't think so.
Then I don't think I would know it.
Fancy Nancy's pretty good. That's a clever show. I like that
That
show.
is good, actually.
So anyway, we did. I'm not pod fading. I am absolutely going to put out episodes each week. It's just been tough.
People understand. This
Little
is a
kids,
crazy
the
time of
holidays,
year.
the dog's crazy. It's a difficult time to find time to record. And with my regular people that record, they're all super busy. Like Johnny Shortsleeve, we haven't heard from him in like a minute because he's been. Yeah, you like my
I do.
slang?
I do.
In like a minute?
Is that a restaurant term?
No, that's like
I was just wondering.
that was like it was like a I think it was like a hip hop term from like the early
Was
2000s.
it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I haven't had ribs in like a minute,
Oh, nobody.
but that meant like it means like a long time.
Right. No, I know what it means.
All right. So anyway, I'm not pod fading. I'm here to stay, and we're going to talk about our favorite Disney villains today. My favorite Disney villain is my wife.
See, now,
That was funny.
I thought that was funny. I'm into
So
that.
to the listener, if you
And
hear,
some days I am a good Disney villain.
it's true. It depends on the day and the time. Never mind.
Aren't we all? Hey!
Anyway, I'm going to get in trouble with women on this one.
Yes.
So
I'm
if you,
more easygoing than most.
You think?
Yes.
All right. I don't.
People tell me that all the time.
Not your husband or your family. So okay. So let's get into it. We've talked. We've bored the poor listener enough. So
They don't care.
The thing is, yeah, they're like, dude, get to the topic. Man, how long do we have to listen to you guys talk?
What is the topic?
God, don't you talk amongst yourselves enough? Don't you have conversations? We really don't. This is like when we get to talk
This
to each
is
other.
amazing, actually.
So,
I meant to tell you. No, I'm just kidding.
so what I was going to say is, if for the listener, if you hear a bit of an echo in this episode, I apologize. We're recording in a makeshift studio today,
You guys should see my microphone. It's hilarious.
which is a kitchen. It's our kitchen and our dining room because the dog won't allow us to record in my studio. He just barks outside the whole time.
He won't
and
fall
come
asleep in our basement, so he'll only fall asleep up on the floor where we're on. So we just had to be right by him because he likes to sleep like right near
All
our
right,
feet.
right. So that's ridiculous. Anyway,
So we're here and
we're going to record. Okay,
let's
top
talk about
favorite
villains, baby.
baby. Let's talk about villains, baby. Frank Sinatra. It's like Joe Piscopo doing Frank Sinatra.
I didn't do
on
either.
Saturday Night Live. That's fresh, baby. No, that's not good.
This is also.
I think that was the Lipton Brisk commercial from like the 90s. Anyway, let's talk about the Disney villains because there are a lot of really, really, really good Disney villains.
They really are. You could pick like 20.
You could. Every movie has a great villain. There's a couple that are lame. There's a couple like
I agree with that.
which we won't bring up in this episode, like the Sheriff of Nottingham in Robin Hood.
Oh yeah, he's super lame.
He's lame. He's just a lame villain.
Yeah,
and then
he
and
is.
Prince John is decent in that, but he's not.
He's all right.
Yeah, he's just a crybaby villain.
I agree.
Whoa, I got off my leg and now I can't see my screen. And for the listener who can't see what just happened,
You guys.
I was sitting on a chair, sitting on my leg, and I was up really high. And then I took my leg out from under my butt, and the microphone was right directly in front of my eyes.
He just
I
got
look like
really
a
little
3-year-old. I look like a 3-year-old at the bar.
because the microphone's really big, so it covered all.
It's a
of
really
your
big, yeah.
face.
It's the pop filter is really big. Anyway, all right, Ace, let's get started. If you
Okay.
can stop laughing at me.
Okay,
You're-
it's hard to do.
I know it's difficult. And you're not even laughing with me. That was straight at me on that one.
A little bit it was at you. So you want me to go 1st? Mm-hmm. All right. So I have.
She's still laughing. Let me try to.
Oh
Kill the dead air here.
No, I'm with you. All right. So, so I organized my list as basically like the Academy Awards, like or a high school yearbook.
Right. So you disregarded you just made up your own rules, basically.
Completely. I made it like way better than your idea.
Oh.
So
You as Walt Disney would say, what's the word that I'm looking for? Come on.
upgraded, optimized.
Upgraded. No. All right, I can't remember the name. I can't remember the term. Plus.
Exceeded your expectations.
You plussed it.
Oh, I plussed it.
That's how Walt would say it. You plussed the list.
And I exceeded your expectations,
But-
which I do every day anyway.
Okay. I'm just gonna let that
So
go.
let's just start. So, okay, so I'm going to start. I can start anywhere because they're all amazing. But I'm going to start. Actually, I'm going to get this one over with because there are a lot of people in this world that are totally over this movie in general and don't want to hear about it. But then there are still a ton of hangers on that are like, yes,
I think you're gonna say hanger honors.
I didn't really know where I was going with it. That are like, yes, she included this. So I'm going to go ahead and do it first. And the movie I'm referring to is Frozen. And I'm referring to the villain, of course, Hans. And he went in my category of most surprising villain.
Yes.
Because I am telling you that when you went to the movie theater and saw Frozen, unless you had a spoiler, if you tell me that you knew that Hans was going to be the villain, you're lying.
What?
You're crazy.
He was the villain. No,
You know what I mean, though? Like,
I
he was
was blown away.
amazing.
Blown
He
away.
did such a good job.
I didn't see it coming at all.
No, I don't think anyone saw it coming.
You know what's really funny is when I was watching that movie I took Alexa. That was her first ever movie.
Yes.
What was it, like 2005? I mean 2015. I'm sorry.
Well, definitely wasn't 2005.
2005. 2013 or 14. And I remember watching it, and about halfway through the movie, I was like, wait a minute, there's no villain in this movie. This is weird.
That's so funny that you thought of that because I didn't even think. I was so swept up in the songs.
Yeah, that's all. I mean, it's from the get go, it's bang.
I was just
do you wanna
totally
build a
swept
snowman?
away.
Right. And he's a great villain.
Oh, and that's the whole thing of it, right? Not only do you never see it coming, but once he falls into his villainry, is that right? He is amazing.
Villainous.
And what's great
fire.
is he only has how long? 20 minutes, half an hour of actually being a villain?
If that.
And right.
Yeah, if that.
And he's the whole time, like, and just as soon as he becomes the villain, like everything changes, right?
Yeah,
like,
his sideburns all of a sudden they're menacing.
everything
They were
is
kinda
menacing
cute
about
before.
him. Like he's all what?
They were kind of cute.
They were
before,
like
but sideburns, you're
endearing
like,
and
oh, that's
charming.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, like mutton chops.
Well, he's super handsome, right?
And then you're like, wait a minute.
And then his whole face changes, his whole demeanor, and his voice even changes.
I love it. You know what's funny? It's just reminded me of the Frozen show at Hollywood Studios.
Oh, I love that
when
show.
the girl, she's like, he was the bad guy.
Yeah, she was all upset because he was
she
so
loves
handsome.
him because he's dreamy.
He's so dreamy.
And Kristoff is smelly.
Oh, yeah, that's right. But yeah, I mean, it's amazing. Like he's in the room and you're like, oh, this is going to be such a romantic moment. He's going to give her a kiss. In my mind, I was like, wait, what is going on?
There's 20 minutes left in this movie.
Right.
This can't end here.
No, it can't end. And what's going on with Kristoff? That's obviously a love interest. So I didn't know what was going on, but I definitely didn't guess that he was going to be the villain. And then, like I said, everything changed. His voice, his face, everything.
Yeah, and he leaves her to die in that room.
He wanted to kill her. He tried to kill her and Elsa.
Yeah, later he tries to kill Elsa.
Yeah, I mean, he wanted them both dead. Yeah, he was just going for it.
Yeah, he's a really good one.
Like
he's
in cold blood.
Yeah, that was definitely murder.
For sure.
That was premeditated.
Isn't he a good one? And he definitely...
He would have gotten 2 counts of premeditated murder.
He would have, but I think that is part
I've watched the first 48. I know what that means.
Like, I know that Frozen, obviously, the biggest thing I think probably are the songs. Then, of course, it's Elsa, because she was so different than most of the princesses, queens, that Disney's had. But I think that Hans has a big part of that. They've never really done that, right? Where a supposed hero, great guy, at the almost very end turns evil.
I'm trying to think. I can't think of one off the top of my head.
So that was my most surprising villain.
Perfect.
Thank
well
you.
done. Well thought out. Well said. I appreciate that you changed the entire topic of the show.
You're welcome. I will continue for the rest of the show.
All right, that's a good one. All right, my first one is for some reason, one of the spookiest villains to me. And she, of course, is from 101 Dalmatians.
Oh, yes.
Cruella de Vil.
Oh, she is spooky.
She okay. First of all, okay, so here's the thing. She's voiced by Betty Lou Gerson. I don't know how to exactly pronounce the name. Animated by Mark Davis, of course. I think a lot of people look at Mark Davis and think, oh, he's a theme park designer. He created the characters in Pirates of the Caribbean. He created characters in Haunted Mansion and what is that one?
He's just like waving his fingers.
Country Bear Jamboree. And yeah, he's created all these amazing theme park characters. He started as an animator. He was one of Walt's 9 old men. Do you think not a lot of people know that? I think so. Right. I think not a lot of people know that he animated, he was the main sole animator for Cruella de Vil. I know, that's really cool. He came up with like her final look. Because she is amazing. I mean, great looking, freaky, scary villain. She's like a classic villain. I mean, really. She is. So here's my thing about Cruella de Vil. She's lots of questions going into this movie. Okay. First of all, she and Anita are friends. How? Yeah, that's a really surprising one. Why are they friends? I have no idea. Can you explain it to me? They have nothing in common. Anita's like the sweet girl that rides a bike. I think so. I think it's like if you go into like the backstory, they met in college. There's like other the different versions of the story had them meeting in different ways. I think this one, they met in college or high school or something. Cruella de Vil mercilessly makes fun of her and her husband Roger. Totally rips him for being a musician. Like she makes fun of him. She's like, yeah, that's all she does. Yeah, she makes fun. And by the way, he gets her back, even though he's afraid of her. He gets her back with the song. He does. Cruella de Vil. It's a perfect way to get back at her too. It is. It's using the thing that she made fun of him. Exactly. Oh, that's really right. Karma. Look at that. That's I know. Really cool. It's amazing. So she's apparently gotten wealthy from her in this movie. She's gotten wealthy from her collection of fur coats. Right. How did she buy the fur coats? I don't know. That's a really great question. Never really talked about. But anyway, I guess she came from a family that's like super, super wealthy. Anyway, she finds... But does she become wealthy because she sells her fur coats? Sure. Let's call her a fur coat merchant. Okay. I don't know if that's true. We're making that up. So she and Anita are somehow friends, even though they hate her and she hates them. Right. No, absolutely. So they bring her into the house and she finds out the dog's having puppies, right? Right. Dalmatian puppies. Amazing. I want to buy them from you. Okay, wait. So she just thinks she's going to walk in and be like, I'm going to buy the puppies from you. And I have a collection of coats from all different animals. Don't worry. But that has nothing to do with this. I just like Dalmatians. So Roger's like, no, you're not. I'm not selling the puppies. You're not getting the puppies. No offer. It's off the table. We're keeping the puppies. Right. Cruella freaks out, loses her mind. Yeah, she does. Vows of vengeance, like in the room. Like, I'm going to get back at you for this someday. Right. Leaves. And then they're like, all right, we're fine. I think you should be fine. So I don't think we're going to hear back from her. Oh, yeah, it's probably cool. So the rest of the movie, she's trying to steal the puppies. Right. To murder them. Right. And make fur coats out of them. But she's not going to have a living puppy fur coat. No, she's not. She's going to kill them all. And she's not going to keep one as her pet, but kill the rest. She's going to murder them. I don't know what she's going to do with them. She's going to eat them. I wouldn't put it past her. Right. So she hires these two, goons, basically. Yeah, goons. Right? It's a great word. Goons. Jasper and Horace to help her thank God they're bumbling and they can't really
They
do
are
the job.
very bumbling.
In both the live action version with Glenn Close and in the animated version I'm talking about. They really don't know what they're doing. They can't
No,
catch
they
puppies. So of course the dog's outsmart the bad guy, and she has that, by the way, that horrifying car accident. At the end.
That is, I can. As soon as you said that, I can picture
see
her,
her
like
eyes
her
with the
eyes.
red
Yes, I was
and
gonna
the
say her
circles and
eyes.
yeah,
it's so creepy, and I haven't watched that in years.
I remember being a kid and
but
being
I'll
afraid
never
of
forget
that.
that.
So anyway, by the way, she doesn't die at the end. I always thought always get confused. Like I'm always thinking, is she dead? She doesn't die at the end. Gets into a car accident, but lives. She's fine. She walks away from it.
Oh, I didn't remember that. I thought she died.
So
as
she's
well.
just coming back at some point. I don't know.
She's gonna do it again.
I don't. There's the 102 Dalmatians movie. Did you see that one? No, it's true. It's
No, I know. I
It's the
haven't
sequel
seen
to the live action.
We
one.
should have seen that. So
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe she comes back.
Yeah, we don't know.
Maybe she. I don't know.
Maybe she's a sister.
Nah, we're making stuff up. So, really quickly, does the movie even get made today with PETA?
No.
No, they're having problems.
Absolutely
with
not.
that. Yeah. So anyway, that's my first villain,
That's
Cruella
a
de
great
Vil.
one.
Evil as evil can be.
Yeah, she's really evil.
So what do you got
Because
for
it's
your?
like with innocent puppies.
Right.
So that's definitely one of the top most evil villains. So, speaking of most evil, I'll do my most evil villain, which is my next category. And personally, for me, I know you're right about Cruella de Vil, but I think this guy is even more evil. And that is Scar from Lion King. Because he, excuse me, if you will, not only murdered his brother, but made his nephew think that the nephew murdered his own dad.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
That's really bad.
And-
And then he tried to murder his nephew later.
He does.
No, that's true.
He's kind of a murderous. I mean, it's not what lions do, though. Lions murder other lions.
I mean, I guess, but it's a kids movie, right? So, like,
I'm saying, like inside the Pride, isn't there only one like male like Pride leading lion?
yeah, I mean, I guess you're right.
And then they kill the ones that try to challenge them for that
So,
position.
are you saying like he's not evil? He's just doing what he's
I'm
supposed
just saying
to?
he's justified. He might be justified in doing that.
Yeah, but is it does he have to do it in the way that he does? It's
a good
really a manipulative,
When he grabs
cruel way.
Mufasa's
Yeah,
paws
he
and
just
he's
like throws him, and then
"Long
he's
live the king.
oh yeah, his eyes get crazy too.
Yeah, yeah. By the way, why does he have the scar? Do we know why he has the scar?
No,
Was that a fight that he and
that's what's
Mufasa
like
got into as a kid?
mystery. No, that's we don't know. Maybe.
Apparently, there's some backstory out there.
Oh, that'd be cool.
My Disney books that tells the story of why he has a scar and says his real first name.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, I don't know his real first name, but
I don't either. Actually, it's a good question.
somebody knew that. Somebody texted it to me one time or he messaged me, and I was like, "Oh,
Oh, well, guys, if any of you guys know his real first name, let us know.
but he is." Yeah, please do. But he's a pretty monstrous villain.
He's really evil because he's so mean.
And then
I mean, he ruined Simba's whole life until how old is Simba when he comes back?
I think he's
30?
like 25.
25 or 30. But before then, he is convinced that he killed his dad.
Yes.
He's convinced he can't ever come back. He just needs to start over this new
Yeah,
life.
'cause the hyenas tell him if you ever come back, we'll
that's
kill you,
ridiculous. Of course.
Ed and who the other two hyenas, Kenzie and Benji or something.
I think it's close to that.
I know one is Kenzie, I think. I don't know what the other one.
I don't
The Whoopi Goldberg one, I don't remember the Whoopi Goldberg name.
I don't either.
But they do Ed.
I was going to say, is it Karen? But that's just Whoopi Goldberg's real name.
That's all right. That'd be really funny if that's what it was, though.
It would, but it's not.
It's Kenzie and Benji, I think. No, it's not. So, but yeah, and then there's the whole be prepared thing.
Yes.
When,
Be
yeah,
prepared.
by the way, does it not look like the hyenas are walking in like a Nazi?
Oh, it definitely
formation?
does. It absolutely does.
Yeah, they're like walking like it's like goose step like Nazis.
It's true.
Yeah, he's a great villain.
He is a really good villain, though. That's the thing is, to be totally honest, even as evil as he is, and I don't want to say I rooted for him, but definitely I was super interested. He's fascinating and really intriguing.
Yeah, he's a cool
and you're right,
guy. He's
with
a
the
cool
scar and the mystery, he's like an enigma, you know?
Black hair, that doesn't
yeah.
happen on lines, does
Why
it?
does he have that?
Does he dye it? Is he good with
He's
salon?
almost charming, I guess, because of the accent,
Yeah, Jeremy Irons, right?
right? Don't do it.
I'm not going to do it. We all know my Jeremy Irons. If you listen to the one episode and I did the Spaceship Earth thing,
Not good.
you know that my Jeremy Irons impression is horrible. So I won't do it. But the thing I did to my Long Live the King, that was kind of a Jeremy
That
Irons
was good. Yeah, I was into that.
My favorite tidbit about that, though, is the Jim Cummings thing. I know I've talked about it on the podcast before, but that he couldn't sing. Jeremy Irons couldn't sing.
That's right.
I talked to Jim Cummings about it, and he said he didn't know if it was the cigarettes or what it was. But when it was time to sing, he did sing.
And it wasn't
And people
good.
listened to it, and they were like, eesh, like, we're not going to be able to use that. So they called Jim Cummings in.
And I didn't know the Jim Cummings because I mean, obviously
Yeah,
he
he
can,
could sing.
right?
He was in a band.
Oh, was he?
He played in a band in New Orleans for like years. He opened. I remember when I asked him. It was like Foghat or something. He opened for like Foghat or something once.
Did he?
Yeah, like I forget who it was. It was like some. What's that? Amy's trying to signal something to me.
I wanted to make sure it was recording because
Yeah.
I have this bad memory
Yeah.
of last time.
No, it's recording.
Okay.
So he opened.
No, because this is really good.
It is. He opened for someone. I forget who it was. He actually had a really successful band in New Orleans in like the 70s and 80s.
Wow, I never knew that.
Yeah, and then he moved to. He's a really cool story. He moved to L.A.
Oh, I
worked
remember
in
you telling me this.
Worked in like a video rental store in L.A.
Oh, yeah.
Kids we used to rent videotapes from the store.
You guys missed out on that. That was kind of fun.
Yeah, the youngins that are listening
Because
to
it was
this.
like the mystery of is the movie that you're looking for, is it going to be behind that box?
Right.
You don't know.
That was my every Friday, Saturday.
Is it just going to be an empty box and you won't be able to watch this?
One thing that the listener might not know about me is I worked at Blockbuster.
That's
for
true.
A while,
For a while, yeah.
after the college program, and I loved that job, and I loved it because I got the movies before they came out on video.
I know. That's amazing.
Like the week before.
That can't exist now.
No, now you get them instantly.
Right.
Now you can download torrents. You can get movies that are still in the theater.
Isn't that crazy?
I got The Force Awakens and Frozen somehow, not going to say how, from someone that I know, while they were still in theaters. I got them both on
It's
DVD. They were Blu-ray quality.
You're right.
But yeah, those days of working at Blockbuster when I would get, I don't know, 6 free rentals a week.
That's amazing.
Because the people, the owners, the management of Blockbuster wanted you to be knowledgeable about all the new movies.
Of course. Well, you had to be.
So I would get like, dude, I would on Friday and Saturday nights, I would work, and then I would come home
Just
at like
put-
11 and watch
right.
2 movies till like 3 o'clock
That's
in the
so
morning.
fun.
It was awesome. So yeah, I was young. I was 20 years old probably.
You
then.
were. We were really off
I remember
topic,
like
by the way.
Titanic came out, was a big one.
Oh, yeah.
And
of course.
I'm trying to think of the other. There were some really big ones that came out when I worked there. But anyway, where were we? Scar.
Scar. No, he is
Right,
evil,
Scar
I
had
have
that
to
job
admit.
at Blockbuster, and
So
what happened after The Lion King, the sequel. You didn't know, so Scar starts going into work at Blockbuster, hating his life.
Oh, I never saw that part. That must be an outtake. So my theory is that Scar is most evil. At least he fit into my category.
All right, I think I'm gonna take a run at most evil
Okay, go for
with
it.
you on my next one.
Like, do it.
So we'll see what you think.
I'll tell you.
One of my most evil ones, but also most misunderstood,
Okay.
is Maleficent.
Oh, yeah, she's a good one.
Now, why? I think she might be the most spiteful and evil villain, Disney villain of all time.
I agree.
And here's why.
Oh, I definitely agree.
And I'm talking to the
it was
Disney
such a-
animated version, not to Angelina
Such
Jolie.
a small grievance that became so large.
Yeah, so she's a fairy, right?
Right, which
That's
I
what
did
she
not
is.
know that.
Right, and I didn't know it either until I looked it up.
Okay.
I actually found out in the Angelina Jolie version. that
Yeah,
she's
you
a
didn't
fairy.
know before that, right?
No,
No, me
but then when I looked at the backstory of the animated film,
Right.
it mentions that she was a fairy.
Interesting.
So she's a fairy who lost her wings. So first of all, she's really angry about that.
Because she has no wings.
Right. Second of all,
And like, what's a fairy without wings?
right. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. So second of all, okay, she's known as like the town outcast, right? Like,
Right. Already.
she's the grouchy lady that lives out in the woods. Nobody talks to her.
Right.
That's her
Because
thing.
what is she even anyway?
Right. She's a grouchy fairy that can wreak havoc whenever she feels like it.
Right.
Right.
Right,
Like
so-
no kids
right.
are going trick or treating in her house.
No, no one's going near
No
her.
one's stopping by with some figgy pudding on Christmas. so what is figgy pudding,
And I
by
think
the
she
way?
would enjoy figgy pudding if
What is it?
someone
What
gave
is
it.
that?
I don't know, but doesn't it sound good? I just think
If
of
somebody
Fig Newton.
stopped by our house at Christmas and knocked on the door like a neighbor, and I was like, "Oh, Merry Christmas," and they were like, "Here, we made you some figgy pudding."
If any of our neighbors are listening, please bring figgy pudding over.
I want to know what that is. I'll make. You know what?
Let's just make it.
My goal this year, this Christmas,
We're going
is
to
to
make figgy pudding and eat it.
I'm going to take a
And
video
bring it
of
to
it
our
and put it on
friends.
Facebook for everybody. All right, figgy pudding in 2018.
Oh
Okay.
my gosh, definitely do that.
Okay.
But anyway, so Noah's bringing Maleficent figgy
Right.
pudding.
So she lives in the
Maleficent,
woods.
sorry.
She's not a happy lady, right? Her best friend is a crow.
Right.
Like she's just an angry old lady.
And crows are like, evil, grumpy.
Yeah, they're just
whenever
they're
there's-
like this signal.
no one's going near the crow either.
Crows and ravens, which
Yes.
I get mixed up all the time.
They're very
Both
similar, I
blackbirds,
think.
right?
Yeah.
Are they the same thing? They're not the same thing.
I don't know.
All right, we're not doing that research now. So
Go ahead.
I'm obviously not a bird expert.
Me neither.
I don't like birds. I have this thing.
No, we're both a little afraid of birds.
I'm not afraid of birds. You're afraid of birds.
You're
I just
totally
don't like them.
terrified of birds.
All right, maybe a little bit. So anyway, I don't like birds. So, okay, back to Maleficent. So she doesn't get invited to the christening of Aurora, right? Of Briar Rose, Aurora, whatever her name is, Aurora in the beginning, which is a hard word for me to say, so I won't say
It is.
From here on in the podcast, she will be called Sleeping Beauty.
Sleeping Beauty.
So,
No, you can't do that.
so she doesn't get invited to the christening, so she freaks out.
She just loses it.
She's so angry that she doesn't get invited. First of all, is she friends with King Stefan in
Right.
the animated version? No, she's not.
No, she's not. Why
They
would she
make up the
have been
backstory
invited?
for the other one, but she's not like they're not like going to dinner parties together. She just does. She's not invited because she's a mean old lady. So they don't invite her. She crashes the christening, right? Because she's so
Absolutely.
angry.
She's so mad.
And then she's like, "Hey,
But she doesn't like when she comes in. Why would anyone be like, "Oh, she's here and we didn't invite her"? But it's probably going to be okay. Like, she's not going to be mad. She's just going to come in and be like, "What's up, guys?
no, it's true. No,
Maybe
she's
my invitation got lost in the mail. Whatever. No hard feelings."
no. She comes in angry, right? So she curses the poor infant, poor
Right.
Sleeping Beauty, and says by her 18th birthday, she will prick her finger on the spinning wheels. 18th, right, or 16th?
16.
Yeah, she's gonna prick her finger on the spinning wheel, fall into an
18th
eternal.
is Beauty and the Beast.
Right, falling into an eternal sleep. That's the gift, right? That's what she gives her. She's like, I'm going to give you a gift.
She couldn't get her like a Kindle.
But well done. You caught me off guard really there. So, but the thing is, she was going to leave.
Right.
She was really going to leave.
Now I know.
She comes. She's all mad. She's like, why didn't I get invited? Blah blah blah. She's all mad, and then she's going to leave, and then the queen,
Right.
Aurora's mom,
Just leave all enough alone.
asks her, she's like, are you mad? And she's like, no, I'm not mad. But guess what? Here's my present. And then she curses her.
Right. So she just hadn't
She
said
might have just
anything.
been cool. She might have just came in,
It would have been a totally different movie.
yelled at everybody like like an upset relative at a Christmas party, and then just walked the heck out. But she didn't. So yeah. And she's just mean. She's a spiteful lady.
She really is.
Never
Just
and then-
because she didn't get an invite.
Right. Like I didn't.
I mean, that's
I
her
don't-
whole basis, right?
I don't get invited to stuff. Sometimes I don't get mad
All the
about it.
time. I never get invited to.
I actually kind of enjoy it. I'm
Oh
like,
my
good,
God,
I
we're
don't have
so
to
excited.
go.
I was like, dude, I just heard that there's this party,
And I
but
don't
we
have-
weren't invited, so we can hang in.
Go to bed early.
I know, we're so late.
Play Red Dead Redemption 2. So yeah, or Spider-Man. So all right. So yeah, she's a very, very mean villain.
She is. And also, real quick, I just want to answer the Crows Ravens question.
looked it up?
They are two different
They're two
types
different
of
birds.
birds.
Okay, good.
They have different cawing sounds. Like
Okay.
a crow is like, caw, and a raven is a lower, deeper, guttural caw. Like that.
Okay. All right, we got to get back on track here. Okay, I can't even look at you right now because I'm laughing so hard. All right. So all right. Whew, okay. All right. I'm glad I now know the difference between crows and ravens. All right. So Maleficent, Amy is crying and laughing so hard. So so back to Maleficent. She was voiced by Eleanor Audley, who was also the voice for Lady Tremaine in Cinderella, which you may not have known. And if you listen to their voices now, they're very similar. Come on, Ames, get it back together. It's like live TV. You got to get it back.
Okay, I'm here. Whew, I did not know that.
But you can hear it. But now when you think about their voices, you can kind of hear the similarities in your head.
Yeah,
And again,
they-
she was
you're right.
animated by Mark Davis. Another super awesome villain animated
What,
by Mark
Maleficent
Davis.
was?
Yes.
That's cool.
Right? Very
Yeah, I
cool.
didn't know that either.
All right. So get it together. You're up.
Okay, I'm
you're
here.
up for your
I'm here.
next
And
one.
actually, this is the perfect opportunity for me to move on to my next category, which is funniest.
Okay.
And to be honest
Because
with
Maleficent's
you,
really not funny at all.
no, there's nothing
But that
really
moment
funny
was
about that
funny.
lady. To be honest with you, I think there were a couple villains that could fit this. So I really had a hard time picking. But I picked my favorite one from probably my favorite Disney movie, which is I picked Yzma from.
Love Yzma.
I know, right?
Yes, so underrated.
Is that my voice? Is that my voice? It's so. Not only is the movie itself completely underrated, nobody talks about it. It's really nowhere in the parks, right?
Yeah,
like
it's not.
Sometimes
they were in a
random.
parade, and they do like. I think they come out for like the DVC member events.
Oh, really?
You'll see like an Yzma or Cusco.
Yeah, it's a
That's
bummer.
kinda it.
So yeah, but not only is the movie itself underrated, but nobody talks about Yzma. What is the name of
Eartha Kitt?
Oh my gosh, Eartha Kitt, hello. Like
Yeah.
Santa baby. But like doing all kinds of voices today. But
She danced to
I
Santa
did
Baby
do a
dance.
little shoulder dance. But Yzma is so hilarious. And not only is Yzma so funny, but all of the characters, how they respond and react to her, I just feel like it's edgier and it's very clever. It was way ahead of its time, I guess, is what I'm trying to say to you. And she's so clever and on point and witty, and they make fun of, her looks because she looks crazy. She doesn't care. And then they just make fun of her in a way that I don't remember any other Disney movie really doing. Like at one point,
they admit that she's ugly.
Right. They say
They admit that she's
scary beyond all reason.
Yeah.
That's how everyone describes her.
For some reason, she's purple.
She's purple. Yeah, nobody ever explains
Nobody
that.
else is a different color in that movie except
really
for her.
a good point.
It's weird.
Yeah, that is weird. Actually, I never thought about that. But even like at the end, towards the end, when she's like pulling her, she's like, "Oh, I have this," and she's like pulling her dress up, which is, by the way, very
Great scene.
menacing.
Yeah,
and they're like, and then she actually has a knife and like, oh, okay, like totally relieved
thank God.
that instead of like having to see more of her body, it was just a knife that she was going to use to kill them.
That's so funny.
But and what's cool about her is she's actually not a very evil villain, right? Like I know she has bad intentions.
She tries to poison.
But she doesn't try to poison him. She has Kronk do it, and she knows that Kronk doesn't know what he's doing. I'm just saying.
So what, you think like somewhere under there she's not really trying to kill Cusco?
No, I'm just saying, yeah, maybe. But even if she is trying to kill him,
Disagreed.
It's totally different than Scar throwing his own brother off a cliff. Like, you know what I mean? You can't.
Yeah.
But either way, she's hilarious. The whole movie is fantastic, and I wish that it was more appreciated in the world.
I agree. I love Yzma. I love the Eartha Kitt performance. Santa
her
Baby,
voice does the whole thing. I mean,
also, she also is the Catwoman.
Oh, Catwoman,
from the old
right.
60s Batman show.
That's right.
Eartha Kitt. I think they had a couple Catwomans. She was one of them.
Because she was like hot. She was like a little hottie back in the day, right?
This is a family show. Yeah, we can say she was hot though. Yeah. Yeah, she was very appealing to the male
and her
demographic.
voice is so cool, right? Like it's got that gravelly tone. And
It
all.
does, and that we're in the Christmas spirit with this episode. We keep mentioning Christmas stuff because it's December.
It's so close.
I was thinking of Santa Baby, and then I was thinking of Madonna's version. Ugh.
Oh, that's not good.
She does like an Eartha Kitt impression.
Yeah, it's not good.
The entire time it's brutal.
Nobody should ever do an Eartha Kitt impression.
No, and Madonna's look. You're 60.
Don't mess with it.
You're
she didn't do it when she was 60.
No, she did it when she was in her 50s.
That's true, actually.
Her time's up. Let's let somebody else take.
Move on.
Just stay in France or
love
England,
Madonna,
wherever you
but I know what
live
you're
in
saying.
England. I just got a nice little place in England somewhere. Yeah, just stay over there. Don't make any Christmas songs anymore. We're done.
Right.
We're cool with Material Girl. We're cool with Pop It On Preach. Other than that,
That's where she
this used to
lived.
be my playground.
True Blue.
This used to be my playground.
Do you know True Blue? True Blue, baby, I love you.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I know that song.
Best.
She did that. I think that might have been one of the
Oh,
first.
I did a shoulder one for that
You
too.
did. She was doing that one on back on American Bandstand.
Yeah, it's the best.
When that show was still
Anyway,
around.
this is not about Madonna.
No, it's not about Madonna, but don't listen to that version of the song.
But do go and watch Emperor's New Groove if you
He's a
haven't,
great
or if you
villain.
haven't seen it in a long time.
And just Kronk, because Kronk's the best.
Kronk makes the whole thing, and I will say,
Yeah,
Kronk's
get a look at
New
that
Groove-
sky today. Talk about blue.
Talk about Blue. I will say, Kronk's New Groove. You wouldn't think it's good. It's actually really good. It's
never
really
seen it.
funny. It's good.
Now I'm thinking of Yzma's best lines. I pulled the lever, Wrong lever.
Wrong
Why do we
lever.
even have that lever?
Right. And I'll put that box in a box, and I'll put that box in a box, and then I'll smash it with a hammer. She's just the best. Like everything she does.
And then one of my favorite lines. I love all of Patrick Warburton's lines as Kronk.
Yeah, of course.
But one of my favorite things is when they're all drinking the potions, and the one guy, he's like, excuse me, I got turned into a cow. Can I go home?
And they're like,
she's
yeah,
like,
you
yeah,
can.
you can go home. He's like an evil henchman.
And then they're like, does anyone else want to be excused? And they all look at like
no,
what
we're
they are.
okay,
And they're like,
yeah.
no, we're good.
Yeah, they're like ostriches and
Look, there's like a
other stuff.
turtle.
Like, yeah, no, we're good. Great movie. So funny.
So good. So funny.
Again,
It's right.
just completely not marketed well.
No,
when
they
Disney
just didn't
put
do
that
a
out
good
there.
job with it.
Because I remember I didn't even want to watch it. And after I saw it, I couldn't believe how good it was. All right, so I'm moving on to my next one.
Yes, go.
And, all right, yeah. So I'm not going with most handsome or most dastardly or anything like that. My next favorite villain is Gaston from Beauty and the Beast. No one is as
Could
good
be
as
argued
Gaston.
that he's most handsome.
He could be the most handsome. It's funny they bring it up. He's the first ever handsome Disney villain.
That's true. You're right.
They never did that before. And I
Yeah,
remember,
that's a good point.
I forgot how to say his name. Alexander Dejas, it's Dejas. He's a Disney legend. Was the animator for him,
Oh, wow.
and had a ton of trouble coming up with what he should look like because
Did he first have him not handsome?
yeah, but they were back and forth on can we make a handsome villain evil?
Right.
Like, because he's going to be.
Oh, yeah, they sure can because he is so evil.
But they made him super charismatic.
Yeah, they did.
But not that bright.
Right.
Like, so Belle could see through it, but nobody else could in the town.
Right.
Like, everybody else thought he was like the tops. He was
The tops. No, they did. They were
he was
all
one half
into it.
cat, but nobody else like Belle and Maurice.
They
Maurice
were
didn't
the
even
only
see through
ones.
it.
No, you're right.
Because Maurice was like, how about that Gaston
Right.
fella? He's
he
handsome.
seems fine. Why don't you
Yeah,
marry
and
him?
Belle was like, no, he's rude and conceited, and
Right.
Papa, he's not for me. I've seen that movie a lot.
You have. That's his favorite.
I love
That's
this. Is
your
my
one.
favorite Disney movie. My favorite Disney animated movie by a long shot. I love it. I thought the live action was fine. Not my favorite. It was good, but not. I didn't think it was phenomenal.
It's not the same.
Of course, yeah, no, it's not the same. This was the first ever animated movie that was nominated for Academy Award. Was Beauty and the Beast
Oh, wow. I didn't know
for
that.
Best Picture, not for an Academy Award, but it was
Right.
first ever animated film ever nominated for Best Picture.
That's awesome.
So anyway, he's the perfect villain. He's really funny,
He's hilarious.
really dumb, and like kind of dumb funny, like not funny on purpose. Is what I'm saying.
No, definitely not.
Like his lines that are funny are because he's just
he doesn't
kind of
want
dumb.
anyone to laugh at him.
No, but you do, yeah. But what I love about the movie and about the character is he and the Beast are like perfect parallels.
Yeah.
Like they kind of mirror each other. Like the Beast is really handsome in the beginning, but he deep down he's kind of a jerk, right?
That's right.
He turns the lady away. The old lady away. He doesn't give her a place to stay for the night.
Right.
And he's not nice. He's really ugly inside. Gaston's the opposite. Then the Beast becomes really nice inside, ugly outside.
Right.
Gaston's the opposite. He's really ugly inside, but really handsome outside. So it's kind of cool. They're kind of like
That is true.
mirrors of each other.
Well, they were both handsome on the outside and ugly on the inside, but
Right.
it's just that Gaston never changed. Where
Right.
he's dick.
And that's the thing is what story is all about, right? Is that the hero of the story transforms. It becomes something that he
Exactly.
wasn't in the beginning.
Exactly.
So he becomes like this super nice guy. But Gaston just...
By the way, is it okay that I think that the Prince version of the Beast is so, like, just not good looking? I just think
Yeah.
he looks better as the Beast.
he does look better as the Beast.
I don't know if that's okay to say, but I really do.
Hey, you know what's really funny, and I don't want to catch any flag for this, but I agree with you completely. I always think he's kind of soft looking as a prince. Like, does that make sense?
I know what you're saying.
Like the princes in the Disney movies are like strong jawed,
Yes.
muscular.
He's different
princes.
looking, but that's not why I
He's
don't
got like the
think
long blonde hair. And he's kind of feminine looking.
Yeah.
he doesn't look like a prince should look.
And he just doesn't look anything like the Beast, I feel like.
Yeah, he's like
I don't know how you would
he has a
retain.
different voice. He's like, "Hello, how are you, Belle?
He's just different. It's just too different for me.
Oh, Belle, can I get you a
Yeah,
glass?
no, I know what you're saying.
Can I get you a glass of lemonade, Belle?"
Because the Beast himself is so manly.
Yeah, and this
I
guy's
know
not
what
at
you're
all.
saying. Right.
He's not a man.
I get what you're saying.
Anyway, yeah, I completely agree with you. And I always, this is going to sound horrible, but I always think that when I see him at the end of the Beauty and the Beast show at Hollywood Studios, when he has a long blonde ponytail and he comes out and dances, I'm like, look at this guy.
Right.
That's not the guy Belle should end up with.
I agree.
He should be like a strapping lad like me. Like he should be a strong. Anyway, you're right.
But Gaston, hilarious.
Gaston, hilarious. The villain I most like to meet in the parks with the kids.
Oh, he's amazing.
Just there's so many videos out there of him, like all over YouTube, of the Gaston character, like doing push-up, like
he gets so into
with
it.
guests. Just if you could be friends with any character, he's the one you would want to quote unquote be friends with.
Absolutely,
because he gets so much freedom to say what he wants.
I know.
As long as he sticks to the character,
right?
He could be really mean to people, and we've seen him do it. One of my, like he's yelled at our kids. He called Jack. Jack had the Chip and Dale hat on. He was like, "You could be our best chipmunk at our wedding." Right. Remember? And
yes,
it was so funny. And
because Lex was wearing a pelt.
Yeah, he was like, "You will marry me," and she was like, "No, I won't." He's like, "Yes, you will."
It was great.
It was awesome. He was like, "I know what you want. You want to marry Gaston." And Alexa was like, "No, I don't." He's like, "Yes, you do." It was great. So he's a great character. That's it. That's full circle for me. What do you got?
Fair enough.
You need another one. You need, how many you got? Two left?
Two left.
All right, let's hear it. Before the dog wakes up and we have to cancel the recording again.
So my next one is, excuse me, the category is, it's like a double category. It's most determined / best perseverer, which I'm not sure is a word.
I don't think so.
And it is Ursula, because that lady never gives up. Like it doesn't matter. Like she needs to change her plan 18 times, but she does not give up until she's like exploded by the boat or whatever happens that they like
stab her with a boat.
Yeah. So until that moment though,
it's a horrible
she's
way
like,
to go.
Dude, I'm just gonna keep trying. Like she's ever changing, right? So her initial plan is to get Triton, right? Is to get his trident. But she's like, okay, well, I can't get to him. So let me make a plan A of what I can do. Like that was my plan A was Triton. So plan B is, okay, I'm just going to get Ariel. Like I'll get her and then I'm going to send her on this impossible task of, with no voice going and getting this handsome prince to kiss her. Okay. And then that doesn't work. So she's like, okay, so he's definitely about to kiss her. Now I have to go to plan C.
Yeah, she's pretty persistent.
She turns into Vanessa, right? Vanessa. And so she's like, oh, let's get him to marry me. But she gets there, and obviously being Vanessa isn't enough. So then she puts Eric under the trance to guarantee that he's going to marry her, right? So that's plan D now. You know what I'm saying?
She maybe we should call her the best on the fly villain.
Yes, on the fly.
She's just like...
Right? So then he's in the trance, right? They're about to get married. Then the sun is going down, but Ariel comes so then she's like, okay, now I have to change again. I have to just become humongous. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. Like,
why didn't she just do that from the beginning?
If that was her ability, like, why didn't she just
jump to plan D or E at the end?
Yeah.
They'll just become huge and take everybody out.
But my point is that she doesn't ever give up. She's like, this is my goal. This is what I'm doing. And I don't care what I have to do.
Right, until she's stabbed in the stomach and murdered by the
She doesn't get to actually do it, but she really tries.
It's I never really thought of it that way.
It's a good way to look at it, right?
Look at it, yeah. Like I never thought of it. She really is. She must have had pretty good parents because she's pretty persistent.
She would have won all of the best participation awards.
Yeah, like somewhere they messed up because...
Yeah, she's evil.
She's evil. But they did some things right.
I mean, she turns like 80 people into plants. Like, that's not a good
she's like a collection of them in her house.
Yeah, it's like all plankton and all.
That's weird. Yeah, they all have eyes.
Yeah.
Which I love on the attraction, by the way. I love how they did that.
It's the best.
It's such a well-done scene.
It really is.
What is it? Journey of the Little Mermaid.
Yeah.
Under the Sea. Such a well-done scene. But yeah, that's a great one.
Yeah. No, it's
I never really thought of Ursula like that. Now I'm going to watch that movie completely differently.
Oh, yeah. We should watch it again.
What I love about that and about Ursula and about Jodie Benson's performance in that movie as Ariel.
She was awesome.
And she plays Vanessa too. And she has... Somehow she doesn't really change her voice. But the way she talks is like...
Totally different.
Yeah.
Could be a different person.
It's really well done.
It is incredibly
and it's a really cool part of the movie that you have to kind of be older to realize, like, whoa, that's the same person.
Right.
She just changed the way she talks. It's really cool.
Because it's her voice.
Yeah. Anyway, I just thought that was neat.
That is really neat.
All right. So my next one is one that, all right, there's a little backstory behind this one. So you know the backstory, but the listener doesn't know it. So I want to tell you like you've never heard it before. So
okay, I'm going to pretend. I'm ready.
So when I was a kid, Well, let me say who it is first. It is the Headless Horseman
Oh, yes.
from The Legend of Sleepy Hollow.
Yeah, he's a great pick.
So he's just, talk about underrated, not very spoken about villains. The only time you ever hear about the Headless Horseman is at Halloween. Mickey's Not
That's
So Scary,
true.
Mickey's Halloween Party.
Yeah, he's super
Boo
underrated.
Parade. That's where you see him.
You're right.
Other than that, he's never brought up, right?
No, he isn't.
Even though Ichabod Crane has a little thing in Magic Kingdom, there's a
Right.
the Ichabod Crane singing lessons,
Oh, right.
and you could hear the person singing on the second floor of Liberty Square.
That's so
Square.
cool.
But he's not really talked about the Headless
You're
Horseman.
right.
So when I was a kid, my dad's dad, my grandfather had, I called him, we go with Pop Up in Philadelphia. So my Pop Gramlich, he had a VHS, like he had a VCR, and he probably had, I don't know, 7 VHS tapes. That's it.
Right.
And it would just tape over them 100 times.
Right.
Right, so he
We
would
all
tape,
did that.
Like the D. Martin Show, he had like 80 episodes of the D. Martin Show on like one tape.
Right.
So, but one of the tapes he had for us that he had taped off TV years before was The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. And it was like the only kids show that he had there. So my brother and I, every time we would go there, we would watch it. So I would watch it all the time. And I had seen it over and over and over again.
Right.
So what I loved about the Headless Horseman was he was like a Prussian, I think, soldier who had his head blown off, seriously,
Right.
by a cannonball
Crazy backstory.
in like the American Revolution, right?
It's nuts.
So he was haunting that part of New England, and what he would do on Halloween night was go out the soldier looking for a head.
So cool.
And what he would try to do was cut people's heads off and make that his head. So that's what he would do with Ichabod Crane, was he was trying to catch Ichabod Crane to cut his head off and
So
make
it could
his
be
head
his own head.
Right. So it terrified me as a kid.
I mean, it's terrifying to me now just to hear it.
I used to, it's one of the most underrated villains.
Nobody talks about that.
Yeah, and he's such a scary, imposing,
Terrifying.
intimidating villain. Yeah, and I still have kind of, when I've seen that as an adult, you know how you get those little weird, those like twinges of like fear as an adult that are completely irrational?
Right.
You get them all the time.
I mean, that's my every
You get them when you walk into the
Ever.
bathroom and the shower curtain's closed.
every time. Oh, yes. And he does it every time, you guys. Why does he always close the shower curtain?
Because it's neat. It looks neater with the shower curtain
And then when I
closed.
go up at night, there's definitely someone in my shower. And there isn't, just so you guys know. But in my
There
mind,
never has been.
like
Not
I...
once. Like this isn't like one time, like the movie Scream or something.
No, it's not like I
You
had
opened
an
the shower curtain and
experience.
somebody was in there.
No, it's never happened. It's just at some point going to.
It's
It's going to be my demise.
Or one day that clown or the little person in the clown suit will be in your house, and you'll call me wherever I am, like in California, and you'll be like, Phil, when did
Why
you
are
get
you
this?
in California?
When did you get this clown statue? And I'll be like, we don't have a clown statue. Get out of the house. Remember that story?
Oh, I remember it. But can you not
And he
go to
like runs at you
California?
real fast, like a little clown. So that story always scared me as a kid too.
That's
It
ridiculous.
never happened. But actually, it did happen. I remember.
No,
when-
it did happen.
Yeah, like recently. That story's been around forever, but it actually happened recently.
I
where
know.
somebody did that.
Why would someone do that?
Horrible.
Anyway,
people out
sorry,
there.
this is very off
So
topic.
anyway, the Headless Horseman. So yeah, that's and again, like he used to at the beginning to the Boo to You parade would sprint down Main Street
Oh my gosh, right.
in Magic Kingdom, and I think, and he did it for
Remember that.
for years and years and years, and I think management finally was like, wait a minute. Like, this is a
It
big
seems
horse.
dangerous.
Headless Horseman riding this big horse pretty quickly down Main Street.
Right.
What if some kid, like, dropped his
Like ran, right.
bubble blower and ran into the middle of Main Street?
That's a good point.
And he couldn't stop the horse. So now he walks down Main Street. Kind of like quick walk, but it's a walk.
Right, but it's still,
Which is a little safer, I think.
it's safer, but not as exciting.
I know people miss the days of him sprinting down,
Oh, it's so
galloping down Main
exciting.
Street.
And
but-
terrifying.
It is. It's a great villain, great effect in that parade. So yeah, that was. I have one more, but that I wanted to save him for toward the end. All right, so this is your last one.
This is my last one.
Bring it home, Amy Liz. What do you got?
So this is okay, so this is actually another double bubble category. So I have best overall / most misunderstood, which you had a misunderstood. Whose was yours? Oh, Maleficent.
Maleficent, yeah, but not really, because she's still kind of a jerk.
Mine is best overall / most misunderstood. And the winner of the category is Mother Gothel.
I love it.
She's
Love
amazing,
Mother Gothel.
right?
Yeah.
So the reason
She could have been funniest too.
that's true. I know. I knew I was putting her on this list because she's one of my favorite villains ever.
Yes.
But I just wanted to figure out exactly the right category. So I'm going to start by explaining why I said most misunderstood, because Mother Gothel has this whole thing, right? What are you doing? He looked like he was going to say something.
No, I'm not talking at all. It's moving.
He leaned in really close to the microphone.
Hello? No, go ahead. Keep going.
So
I'm not even going to edit that out. I'm going to leave it in there.
no, it was really just a funny moment. But so Mother Gothel, first of all, she misunderstood because Mother Gothel goes through this whole finders keepers thing, right? So it's the flower, and what happened is the flower was just hanging out, right? Like it didn't say like here's the flower, property of
No, it was
whomever.
nobody's. It was nobody's.
It was out in like a field somewhere,
It was
right?
like known, but nobody could find it.
Right. And she found it. Like, honestly, good on her. Like, kudos to her. She found the flower. So, I mean, and she used it to keep herself alive. I don't think that's evil. Like,
No.
if
And
you found a flower
for like
that
hundreds
could
of years.
keep you alive, wouldn't you use it? Like,
would.
I don't think that it was... You say you would.
Yeah, I'm going to live forever. Who doesn't?
Who doesn't? Obviously. But, so I don't think that it was like evil of her that she didn't like share it with the world. You wouldn't share it with the world because if you did, you would never have it again.
Right.
So she's hanging out, like keeping herself alive for hundreds of years, whatevs. And then suddenly, just because the queen is sick, that means that like it's not her property anymore.
Totally agree. Totally agree with you.
Right? So they steal it from her, even though it was hers. So now, should she have retaliated by like going and stealing their baby? Probably not. Like, that's probably not the right
Did she
solution.
resorted to breaking and entering and kidnapping? No.
Like a small infant. Like, that's about, like, maybe she should have gone and explained, like, listen, this was initially my flower.
Right. Like, I'm going to die within 30 minutes if you don't
Like,
let me
great
use the flower.
job.
Yeah.
Like, let me just come over once a
Give
week.
Rapunzel a hug and we'll brush her
Right,
hair and
like,
we'll be good.
Yeah, we can part ways and I'll be back once a week.
We're just
whatever.
like rent out a house and rent out a room in a castle. Maybe
Right.
She's apparently a good cook.
Yeah.
She makes hazelnut soup.
She makes it all the time. Rapunzel loves it.
So maybe she could just be like the hazelnut soup preparer of the
That's what I'm
castle.
saying.
Yeah.
So that's why I say most misunderstood. And best overall, because she's just an amazing villain. She has it all. Like, she's incredibly evil. She has she's hilarious. She's smart. She's conniving. She can be charming. But she's really, really, really mean to Rapunzel in really, really, really funny ways.
She
Like, like she's like when Rapunzel, that's so right. And that's the other thing, right? Is Rapunzel is so famous. The story has been around forever. There's so many versions of it. And of course it's Rapunzel, let down your hair. But she has the best take on it when she's like, that must be so hard and tiring and, so difficult to do that. And Rapunzel's like, no, it's not really that hard. And she's like, then I don't know why it takes you so long. Like, hilarious, right?
That's great.
And just her tone of voice, just everything
Getting
she
kind of
does.
chubby.
Right. Like, she's...
I'm just saying, cause I love you.
That makes her
Love that.
bat crazy.
Bat crazy. Bat something crazy. Yes.
Sorry, guys. That makes her completely crazy. But she's also really like brilliant at the same time.
Yeah, like conniving.
Very manipulative.
Yeah,
She
that's what I was looking for.
manipulates
Manipulative.
Rapunzel. Rapunzel. She convinces Rapunzel that that's her mom.
Oh, yeah.
Like, she
doesn't know.
Rapunzel has no idea that that's not her mom.
Right.
For how long? 18 years?
Yeah, almost 18 years.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, well, I think she figures it out. Yeah, after she's 18.
Right. So that's amazing.
It is.
And she's just the best. She's just best overall villain is really true. Like, everything about her is fantastic.
So you think she's the best overall villain?
I think so.
She's pretty good. She's up there.
She's amazing.
Yeah,
she's got it all. She's got evil. She's funny. She's crazy. She's got it all.
I just thought of the other thing when she's like, look in a mirror. What do you see? I see a beautiful, confident woman. Oh, look, you're there too.
But she's like, I'm only kidding. Like,
You're adorable.
And yes, that's right. And her voice makes it as well. I don't know who it is.
Rapunzel, what did I tell you about the mumbling? Blah 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 blah. You know who it is? I don't know her name, but this is the only other thing I know her from. She plays Dr. Octopus's wife
Oh, really?
in Spider-Man 2.
That's funny.
The Tobey Maguire Spider-Man.
I know what you're saying.
Spider-Man 2, that's the best Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. The first one's good, second one's better. But the Spider-Man
I just don't
Homecoming.
like Tobey Maguire.
Yeah, he's pretty polarizing.
Like as Spider-Man. I mean, I don't know him personally. We used to hang out, but
like Tom Holland as Spider-Man is phenomenal.
I don't think that I think most people love him.
Love Tobey Maguire? Or
No,
Tom Holland?
Tom Holland.
Yeah, no, Tom Holland's not polarizing at all.
I just don't think that Tobey Maguire was a good pick for Spider-Man.
He was like too old.
Maybe. There's something about him.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is not
I didn't
about
see those
Spider-Man.
Andrew Garfield Spider-Mans. Is that his name, Andrew Garfield?
I think so. Is that the young Spider-Man guy?
No, that's Tom Holland. The middle. Remember there was a whole other reboot?
Oh, yeah.
Before Homecoming? There was
Either way,
like
no one cares.
the Amazing Spider-Man
Oh, yes,
movies.
that's right.
I've never seen those. It was too
No,
soon
me
to
neither.
remake Spider-Man.
I agree.
Now it's good. For 5 years after Spider-Man came out, wasn't good.
Either way, so
Yeah, so she's a great Mother Gothel's a great villain. I just her lines. You're right. Her lines are hilarious.
she's
so funny,
fantastic,
so evil.
but she's also incredibly terrifying. Like when she's like, "You want me to be the bad guy? Do you want me to be the bad guy? Okay, now I'm the bad guy."
Yeah.
But her face—that's not funny.
Like
her
Hans.
face is just terrifying. Her eyes are squinty, and she's walking towards Rapunzel. And if you're Rapunzel, you want to be anywhere but there. Like she's
Right.
terrifying.
Yeah, she's very much like Hans in that part.
Yes, you're right.
All right, so my last one. I want to close it out
Close it out, baby.
with a bang with the most evil villain
Okay.
of all time. No one's even close to this evil villain. No
Okay.
one's even close. I'm talking about your favorite villain, Judge Claude Frollo from Hunchback of Notre Dame, or Notre Dame, the way I'd say it.
Mm-hmm.
I know you don't like the movie.
I don't, and I don't like him either.
He's evil. That's why you don't like him. He's horrible.
Maybe.
There's no
so
possible
creepy.
way you can convince me that he's not the most evil villain.
He's
in
just
the
really
history of Disney
creepy.
movies. No, you're right. He's really
I
creepy.
mean,
So
I guess that's part of his villainry.
villainous ways.
Yes.
So if you haven't seen the film, which I know you've only seen it
don't
once,
see it.
no, see it. It actually is a pretty good movie. Besides his
It's so disturbing.
it is. So here's his story. He
Sorry, really
hates-
quick. This is another one that I think in this day today would never get made.
You might be right.
Do you think?
Like the Me Too movement and all.
It's just everything.
Like,
yeah.
The Esmeralda, Me Too, like
Right.
horrible. I'm laughing, but I'm not laughing at that. I'm laughing because you're right.
I don't
So
think that
a bunch of
okay.
gypsies. Here's the thing: Frollo hates gypsies.
Right.
Hates them. They're not allowed to be in Paris at all. Absolutely hates them. So a bunch of gypsies sneaked their way into Paris, and he's got like this anti-gypsy policy. So him and his soldiers find them, and the one woman tries to sneak away. One of the gypsies. They're all captured, but one gets away. She
Of
gets away
course.
from all the other gypsies.
Why wouldn't you try to get away?
And Frollo chases her and catches up to her and sees that she's carrying something.
Right.
And he thinks she stole some food or something.
Right, it's a baby.
Yeah. Well, thank you for the spoiler alert.
I'm
But
sorry.
yeah, it's a baby.
I kind of am guessing because I don't remember the movie.
So no, yeah, he thinks it's like a bread or something, and it turns out it's a baby. So what does Frollo do? Does he arrest her? Does he, take her back to the other gypsies? Does he kick her out of Paris? No, he doesn't do any of those things. He kicks her in the head with a steel tipped boot and
It's pretty
kills her. He kills her.
You might be right that he's the
He
evil
kicks
then.
her in the face and
That's
murders her with a kick right in the head.
That's not good.
Right in the head. So, okay, she's dead. And then he's going to kill the baby.
Right.
He's going to kill Quasimodo. And he picks him up and he's going to throw him in a well to kill him. And the archdeacon steps in. And he's like, whoa.
Maybe don't do that.
I saw you kill the mom. All right, look.
That's already done.
not- yeah. He already did it. So
You can't undo that.
I can't take that one back. But don't kill the baby.
Right.
I'm going to punish you for killing that
Why
gypsy
does
woman.
this seem like a good idea, by the way?
Right. So, you know that baby you were just going to kill?
Like, even though you were just about to kill the baby, now I'm going to
You
have a
to
great
raise-
solution.
You have to be. Now you have to be the father
I
to
think
that.
you're going to be a good dad. Like, you have a lot of qualities people are looking for.
I know you killed his mother, but you got a stable job here in Paris. We're pretty, it's a recession. Jobs are tough to come by. You got a good job. You live, you take control of the Cathedral of Notre Dame. So, yeah, I think you have a lot of
You got
things,
this.
a lot of positive attributes. So, yeah. So he tells Frollo, you have to raise this baby as he's your own. So, poor Quasimodo.
I know. Why did he get...
So the archdeacon is kind of to blame for
Definitely.
Quasimodo
Kinda
being raised
nothing.
in a bell tower and
Right.
being friends with.
Like, how did he think he was going to
gargoyles.
raise him?
Right, and you don't even really have to talk about the rest of the stuff that he does in this movie, which is a lot.
It's a lot.
Because the first...
Yeah, you don't need more than that, right?
Right, because he's a murderer. He kills somebody with his own bare hands.
But there are worse things that he does.
Yeah,
at least
it's the whole
just as
thing,
bad.
like the whole Esmeralda thing.
So
like,
creepy.
He's completely obsessed with her, even though he wants to kill all gypsies and get rid of all gypsies. He's obsessed with her in the Hellfire song. And,
yeah, it's like a lustful.
Yeah, it's very there's a lot
Super
of
inappropriate.
adult themes in that movie.
No, to be honest with you, I haven't seen it in so long. If I watched it again, I would probably think it was amazing. It's just I saw it and I was young enough where I was like, "Ooh, this is really an inappropriate movie."
Yeah, it is. It's pretty intense.
Yeah, it's intense
for an animated Disney
But
movie.
you know what? Good for them. Good job.
Yeah, and let me ask you the question. Who makes a cameo? Which Disney princess makes a cameo in the opening song of Hunchback?
I'm trying to get
In Quasimodo's
Cinderella?
first song. So I'll give you one hint.
It's not
Which
Cinderella.
Disney princess is in France?
Oh, it's Belle?
It's Belle. So
Oh,
when she's
cool.
walking across the courtyard
Oh, how
and
funny.
reading her book, in
Yeah.
Belle in the song
That
Belle.
part's in there?
Yeah, he looks down off the building, Quasimodo, and you see Belle walking through
Oh, that's
the streets of
amazing.
Paris with a book.
How
Pretty
cool.
Yeah, you gotta look for it, but it's in there.
That's awesome.
So yeah, so that was he's my most evil. You can't say
Yeah,
he's not.
he probably would win the
The most
Most evil
award,
category.
because he like other characters, other villains kill, but
not in that way.
it's pretty personal.
Yeah, it's very
Like
personal.
it's pretty that's again talk about first 48.
Right.
The cops would come on that scene and be like, it's,
Yeah, there's no coming back from that, right?
no, it'd be like, yeah, it's pretty personal here. There's a I'm thinking now of the cops coming on to come to the scene and being like looking at his mother on the steps of the cathedral and being like, somebody did this. There was a lot of anger involved. Anyway, Ames, this is fun.
This was really fun. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm so glad that the recording worked and we actually got this one recorded.
Me too.
This is a lot of fun. Thank you for coming back on.
Thank you for having me.
It wasn't a very Christmassy episode,
It really wasn't.
but we got some Christmas stuff in there.
We did a few.
It was kind of fun. So thanks again.
Thank you so much.
Bye. And that is going to do it for this week's episode of the Ear to There Disney Podcast. Thank you once again to my wife, Amy Liz, for coming on the show. It's always fun to do a show with her. And hey, listen, this one was probably better set in October and when we originally recorded it. But hey, it's a good episode. It's a good topic. I hope you enjoyed it. We had a lot of fun recording it, so I hope you enjoyed just as much when you listen to it. Thank you again to Bob for answering another question. Thank you to Jen Allen for sending a question in. Most of all, thank you so much for listening to the show. I really appreciate it. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Like the airlines say, I know you have a lot of Disney podcasts you could be listening to right now instead of this one. So thank you for listening to mine. I really appreciate it. I'm going to ask you for a favor this week. If you enjoyed this episode, please tell someone about the show. I make it really easy to share it on the website. You could also share it on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, any of those social media sites. Share it. Tell people to listen. Tell people to subscribe. I really appreciate it. The more people to hear it, the better for me. So thank you so much in advance for that. All right, just remember, there will be a new episode of the podcast on Monday, as well as, hopefully, a new episode of It's a Food World, hopefully, or the Walt Disney World Word of the Week on Thursday. Keep your fingers crossed for those. Until next time, have a phenomenal week. Happy holidays. Happy Hanukkah. Bye-bye.
Ear to there.